Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here with some more StarCraft 2 commentary. Today we'll be looking at a game between NonY and Saikou. This is going to be a Protoss versus Zerg, NonY versus Saikou here on the map Antigua Shipyard. And let us begin with some player information. Starting over here in the upper right-hand spawn location, we have got our blue Zerg player Saikou. Saikou is the 50th ranked master in his division with 7 wins and 3 losses, giving him a 70% win ratio. His opponent over here in the upper left-hand spawn position is our red Protoss player Liquid NonY. NonY is the 45th ranked master in his division with 11 wins and 2 losses, giving him an 84.62% win ratio. And you immediately may be wondering, Force, what the heck? Why do both these players have so few ladder games played? It is, of course, important to keep in mind that season number 7 has just started about 2 weeks ago as of this recording. So there hasn't been a lot of time, and the other thing is that high caliber and or professional players simply don't play a lot of ladder. They just don't. I mean, it's not that important. Most of their practice comes from playing with other high caliber players or people who are on their team or clan rather than spending time on the ladder. And why is that? Well, practice is generally better when you're not playing on the ladder because performing well on the ladder doesn't necessarily equate to performing well in tournaments. And these high level players, of course, they prefer to perform well in tournaments because performing well in tournaments means you get money. Performing well on the ladder means you get more EP, and that's basically it. I mean, it's quite obvious too. You look at some of the high-ranking grandmasters in any region, really, and you'll see some people at the top who you've never heard of before, or you've never seen them in tournament play, I guess is more adequate of a statement to make. And why is that? Well, just because you perform well and in the comfort of your own home or in a clan house doesn't mean you perform well under pressure, and as such, you'll see a lot of high-ranking players who just don't do well in tournaments. They don't get placings, they're not winning prizes, which is, you know, money, and that's just a matter of fact. So anyways, that's enough of that rant. Let's jump into the game. Just wanted to kind of explain why both of these high-caliber players don't have a lot of ladder games this season. They don't care to. Alright, NonY, everything looking pretty standard over here. Zella coming through to finish that wall off. Cybernetics core building as well as that assimilator. So just pretty standard play thus far. Over here for Saikou though, look at this. Early extractor allowing him to get that metabolic boost pretty much as soon as that spawning pool finishes. We've got those first 4 lings coming through as well as a queen. Now what this does here for Saikou is that early metabolic boost allows him to not only get scouting done a little easier, but it allows him to get a bit of map control early on because with those speedlings you can stop stalkers. I call them stackers. You can stop stalkers from getting that map control, which they can typically do without speedlings in play. With just the regular Zerglings, stalkers are able to get map control early on, but again, with that metabolic boost, it's going to be a bit more difficult for NonY to do that, and that will give Saikou that extra advantage there early on. NonY has scouted the lower left and lower right, still has yet to scout Saikou's base. He obviously knows where he is now though, as he has scouted the only 2 other possible locations, so we should be seeing the probe scout move up in just a moment. Zerglings dancing back and forth, metabolic boost just about to finish, almost losing one of those 4 lings. Needs to be careful, target fires it down. Now down to just the 3. That one sneaks by. There are 3 still. Metabolic boost has now finished. Moving up, he's scouting the fact that NonY doesn't have an expansion yet, although it does look like NonY will be coming down with one in just a moment there. You can see pulling up those minerals and coming down with that probe. So we'll be seeing that scout in just a minute. Probe scout for NonY now in the main base. Check in the extractors. Also wanted to see if there's a Roach Warren and or Baneling's nest, of which there are neither. The probe will get taken out nice and easily. That's the other thing too, with that early metabolic boost, you can a lot of times stop that scouting from going through, although as we saw, NonY was able to make his way up into the main with that and really get the information he needed. What he didn't see though is that this Roach Warren is building, so we've got a Roach Warren coming out right now for Saikou. 1 Zella and 2 sentries moving across the map, another sentry also joining the fun. This is going to force Saikou to build a little bit more units than he may have otherwise early on. But actually, never mind, as NonY is retreating, Saikou realizes he is all set. Let's see if that Roach Warren is going to continue to go through. Looks like it will. So Saikou will be finishing that Roach Warren. Back over here for NonY, we've got a forge coming through. There is the expansion being built right now. It's about 3/4 of the way finished. Speedlings continuing again to maintain that map control and get some scouting done. Is he going to sneak his way up? Trying to make it up into the main. Is he going to do it? No, there's the force field preventing those lings from getting up into the main. He did scout that the Nexus is still there, though, and this secondary scouting is pretty crucial because NonY could cancel this. It's possible for him to cancel that and not let it finish and then push out off of one base, but that's not happening. NonY lets that Nexus finish, and that is great information there for Saikou. Absolutely something that he wanted to know. Take a look at this, though. Tons of roaches in play here for Saikou, and where's he going with them? That's my question right now. Just chilling out over there? Okay. Not quite sure what he's doing with the roaches right there. They are serving really no purpose at the moment other than maybe hiding. Maybe hiding those roaches just in case NonY moves out with some scouting. And happens to make his way up into the natural. Wants to make sure that these aren't spotted. I don't know, but roaches are finally now pulling back. Speedlings over here. Does have control of that Xel'Naga tower in the center. Let's take a look at NonY vision. Not too much going on. Sentry Heavy, Zealot, and a couple of Stalkers. Looks like Saikou may be pushing out. Again, he does have a lot of roaches and Speedlings for this early in the game, as opposed to going for a third. He, of course, knows that NonY is on 2 bases right now. So yeah, we're going to be seeing some aggression here from Saikou. Second wave of roaches now in play, giving him a total of 14 roaches. We've got 18 lings in production. Very, very heavy push off of 2 bases here from Saikou. And here we go. Roaches now moving forward. Sentries dropping down those force fields, splitting the forces of Saikou, allowing him to quickly and easily pick off the few roaches there on this half of that force field wall. Also a few free ling kills. Look at this wall off here as well, funneling units up into that natural expansion, making it more difficult for Speedlings to make it in and do too much damage. And again, with all these sentries, he's able to maintain quite a hefty force field wall. Speedlings pulling forward for some scouting. Wants to just check, hey, how many forces are there? What am I up against? Is there still a lot of sentries? And it looks like, wow, Saikou pulling back. Again, he has dumped a lot into these forces here, and to not do damage with that could be a problem, as he has hindered his economy as a result. You can see the drone count doesn't have full saturation here at the natural expansion. He is fully saturated in the main, also now working his way up into a layer, but we still don't have a third from him. Remember, as a Zerg player, pretty crucial to be 1 base above your Protoss or Terran opponent. And so not having that right now is pretty devastating, and NonY successfully defending that aggression. Very weak, though. I'm surprised Saikou didn't continue to attempt to push. I mean, he must have known, he must have expected that sentries were going to be dropping force fields, and he decided just to back off as soon as he saw them. And again, hasn't done any damage with this. Now might be his opportunity, though, as we are seeing NonY attempt to move into this third. And now that he doesn't have the advantage of that choke point here and a force field wall in that position, this might be a better spot for Saikou to try to engage NonY's forces. Still lots of roaches and Speedlings sitting in the center of the map. Looks like he will start working down these rocks over here, which NonY isn't aware of at all, actually, because he's got no vision on that. Do we have any observers in play? I don't believe so. Oh, there we go. Yes, we do. 1 observer in play, has fully scouted out, also looking for some bases. He knows that there's no third right now. He also checked down here. I mean, there still could be hidden expansions over here, so we'll see if NonY decides to scout for that. Pylon placed at the top of this ramp here allows NonY to see that those rocks were getting worked down, and he has responded as a result, pulling down with his forces. There is the third. Where is that observer? Back over here. So is he going to just keep moving back and forth with this observer? What gives? Yeah, let's see. Still just the 1 in play, not another observer in production. And now pulling back with that. So we do have Saikou trying to come out with this expansion over here, deciding not to take the base over here. I'm assuming he's worried about a push from NonY with force fields from the sentries, stopping him from being able to defend that position, and he is instead trying to just hide an expansion over in this position. NonY's got to be feeling pretty confident right now, though, as he is on 3 bases, working to saturate this one over here. Also working his way up into a fleet beacon, hilariously enough. That is a riot. Here we go. Saikou now pulling forward. Speedlings and roaches. Nice force field wall there from NonY, stopping all those Speedlings. Immortal finishing the wall off. That was funny. Couple more Stalkers getting warped in. Saikou again decides to pull back. Some Phoenix production has begun. He's got 1 in play right now. Let's take a look at that over here. Yeah, 1 in play with another one coming through. More and more Speedlings and roaches. Really not focused on his economy at all. A couple spines also placed down there at the natural expansion. Spieling's fanning out. Roach is preparing to continue to take down that wall. Oh, are you serious? Are we going to be seeing carriers? I think so. Carriers planned here for NonY. Another push from those Spielings and Roaches. What is NonY doing with carriers? I do not remember the last time I saw a high-level game with carriers. This would be a riot. There it is. Carrier in production. Oh, snap. NonY coming out with a carrier who's got those 2 Phoenixes in play. Has yet to harass with those, though. Looks like he will be holding off. Maybe just not wanting to show Saikou that he does have that Stargate tech. Another base also coming out over here for Saikou. Again, still deciding not to put an expansion over here. Once more, my assumption is that he's concerned about a push from NonY to take that out. That is what I am assuming. No continuous scouting here from NonY. So he still doesn't know about this expansion and certainly doesn't know about this one that is just now finishing. Muta is moving into the main, but here come the Phoenixes. That's a bit too many Mutas for that many Phoenixes to deal with. We also do have 2 more Stargates building at the moment. First carrier almost done. Bit of economic harass here from Saikou, killing off a total of 14 workers. So very, very effective. A couple Stalkers coming through. Phoenixes continuing to try to dance around. Loses 1, loses the 2nd. Ouch. Spielings and Roaches moving into this position. Those destructible debris have finally been taken care of. NonY not pulling his probes off this line, continuing to take damage there. We do have that first carrier now in play. Muta's continuing to work down this Nexus. Kill off a total of 28 workers. I am surprised that NonY left all of his workers there for that long. But here we go. Carrier and a couple Stalkers now moving forward. Roach is moving into this position. Plenty of forces over here for NonY to defend against that. Mutas decide not to engage the carrier and Stalker combination and pull back here towards a natural expansion of Saikou. Saikou has now saturated this expansion, also has this one up. Couple of idle Mutas over there. Hopefully those go into action in a moment. With 1 carrier in play, now just continuing up Phoenix production. Also working on some more upgrades here. Very, very nice. Increase the range of Phoenix weapons by 2. That's going to help him a lot, of course, against those Mutas here. Allows him to kite much easier and stay out of the range of that Muta glaive damage. Muta's now moving back into the main base here. There are the Phoenixes and carrier engaging, forcing the Mutas back. Again, the Mutas are a little bit concerned about engaging that combination of units. Decided to pull back. Also switching up into Corruptors here, giving him a bit more anti-air and helping him deal with this carrier a bit better. Stalkers, Immortals, Sentries, and a couple of Zealots moving forward here for NonY. NonY does have the Observer, allowing him to take out these Creep Tumors. Spieling counterattack in the works as Saikou moves out. Oh, what's he doing? There you go, move forward. Can do some damage. Going straight up into the resource line over here, also going for that Nexus. Lots of Mutas moving towards the Nexus over here. Corruptors trying to join. It's going to help him a lot against those Phoenixes. A ton of damage. Spielings over here trying to take on the Nexus. Going to be close. Very, very close to dropping that. Unable to do so. Corruptors taking out the carrier. Nexus still alive here. NonY manages to hold on to that. He has lost the carrier. He's got 2 more carriers in production. Also another gateway, so we'll be continuing to pump out those gateway units. We still have these 2 bases over here, which NonY is still not aware of. Yeah, still has yet to scout that out. Interesting unit composition decision here from NonY. I mean, he's got 3 carriers in production right now. That is just craziness. The Corruptors, as you saw, do very well against that, so he's really got to be careful about that. Spieling's now moving in again. Gonna take out the Nexus. Gonna be very close. Yeah, he gets it. Nexus gets taken out. That is the 2nd one that NonY has lost. It's really, really rough to lose that to Spieling counterattacks. Very effective there from Saikou. Also now moving over here. Is he gonna force a cancel of this? I think he might. Wow, takes out the Nexus. NonY doesn't even cancel, so he doesn't get those resources back. He's got idle Phoenixes over there. Really surprised he's not even trying to harass Overlords or something. I mean, look at that. There's a couple free Overlord kills in this position. NonY rebuilding his expansion in the center of the map. Saikou with full saturation here at these bases, so he's getting a strong economy. Lots of Corruptors in play will help him a lot against those carriers. This is just interesting. I don't know what to say about it otherwise. I'm really intrigued at NonY's decision, and I'm a little upset that he has lost 2 Nexuses so far, because I feel like, I don't know. First of all, I shouldn't have lost so many workers over here. That really killed me to see that he lost that many workers to the mutas. That he didn't pull them back in time. And look at this. Speedlings now getting dropped in the main. Saikou will start wreaking havoc over here. Blink Stalker is able to get up in the main and assist, and there you go. Very nice there. As NonY responds and deals with this, he's going to lose a few more workers, but not much else. Speedlings and Banelings moving up into this position. We also got the Corruptors over here. Trying to get us around. Nice force-filled wall, preventing a lot of that damage. NonY has mopped up the forces that were in his main. Speedlings and Banelings weren't able to do that much damage, actually, because of those force-filled walls. Taking out these sentries. Blink Stalker's moving down. The base is still up over here. The main is still intact for NonY as well. Let's take a look at the units in play. No more mutas, as Saikou realizes he's not going to be able to get away with that with those Phoenixes and Carriers in play. Still a lot of Corruptors. Speedlings and Banelings is pretty much everything else he's sitting on at the moment. NonY continuing to push forward, drop those creep tumors. Here we go, the Speedlings and Banelings straight into the Stalkers. NonY not blinking back at all, takes some massive damage there. We do still have all those Carriers though. Can't forget about those Carriers. We'll have to see if Saikou is able to take those out with his heavy Corruptor count. Right now sitting at 9 Corruptors. 32 Speedlings coming through. I think he's going to have a problem here. Oh, Phoenix is taking out the Overlord that was attempting to drop Speedlings in the main. That's unfortunate. Saikou was hoping to get that harass. Speedlings streaming from the bases down here. Maybe pushing towards the center of the map. He's going to have a hard time engaging that with those few cannons there. Corruptors trying to get some pop shots there against the Carriers, but again, with all those Interceptors in play, take a lot of damage as he tries to move in. Trying to just get a couple shots off actually on the Interceptors as well. Alright, here we go now. NonY moving forward and taking out those spines one at a time, trying to provide some breathing room for his ground forces. Banelings moving down there into the high yield. Now 51 workers killed this game here for Saikou. NonY has been taking a lot of economic damage from that harass. He's actually moving back with the Carriers. He must, yeah, he's got to be really concerned there about the Corruptor count here for Saikou. Also got some Speedlings and Banelings over here. And now NonY moving down into the lower right-hand position of the map. He has scouted out this expansion. We'll be moving forward, and now he's going to start taking out these bases. It's going to be very, very hard. However, we're going to be seeing a counterattack over here from Saikou as he moves towards the center of the map with those Banelings and Corruptors. That expansion gets taken out very quickly. Lots of Carriers in play right now with 3 more about to finish. Corruptors moving forward. Going to start picking off these Carriers. One at a time. He's going to get them. Look at that. Look at how resilient those Corruptors are against that Carrier fire, picking them off one at a time. More Banelings rolling forward, but Saikou calls the GG. Looks like he realized there, as much damage as it was able to do, wasn't able to take out all those Carriers. He still had to deal with the Phoenix fire, not a lot of damage against those Corruptors, but it was still some. And then after that, I don't know, did he really have to call the GG there? I don't think he was necessarily losing. I mean, not in the greatest position in the world, but I think he had a chance. Oh well, there you go, guys. There's the game between Saikou and NonY. Alright, my friends, that does it here in this game between Saikou and NonY. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Very interesting unit composition here for NonY. Going Carrier heavy. We saw a strong counter harass there with those Corruptors. However, it was just not enough for Saikou, and he was eventually forced to call the GG as he was feeling a bit too outclassed. Alright, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thanks again, guys. Keep watching and keep owning.